Hey guys, what's up? It's PK Mario, and here we have a cassette tape. Now, as you can see, it is a 60-minute Sony Pharaoh cassette, and in case you didn't know, Pharaoh cassette tapes are supposedly the worst in terms of sound quality. However, if you have a good tape deck like the one that I have, then you shouldn't really need to worry too much about that. Now, I've actually been recording on these Sony cassettes, and they sound pretty good. Almost comparable to a Maxell cassette tape. But more importantly, this is the soundtrack for Mother 2, aka Earthbound. Yes, this is my physical copy of the game, and I'm not entirely sure if you can see that, but, yep, it's real. In case you were wondering, it's not a fake. But anyway, so here we have the Mother 2 / Earthbound soundtrack on cassette tape. From what I know, the original Mother game, or as we know it, Earthbound Beginnings, that game's soundtrack was released on cassette originally, as well as vinyl and Starmen.net later on. Now, as far as I know, it wasn't released on a CD because CDs weren't. They were expensive back in 1989 when the original Mother game released. But by the time Mother 2 came out, Mother 2 / Earthbound, it was 1994 and 1995 when the soundtrack came out, when the game came out, actually, but by the time the game came out and eventually the soundtrack, cassettes were slowly dying off. Now, there has been a bit of a resurgence, not quite as big as the vinyl resurgence, but still a pretty huge resurgence in terms of cassettes. In the UK alone, apparently the sales of cassettes have doubled at some point. I think it was last year or the year prior. I'm not sure, but you can look that up if you want. But anyway, the Mother 2 soundtrack, as well as the Earthbound soundtrack, was never released on a cassette tape. The closest that we got to getting it on an analog format was vinyl. Now, let's see here. Now, one of the cool things is that apparently, originally the Mother 2 and Earthbound soundtrack was released through the Sony record label, and this is a Sony cassette tape. So, it made this all the more better to record because I was recording it on a cassette that was manufactured by the same company that produced, that essentially has the record label in which the soundtrack for Mother 2 was produced under. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, I'm going to play a bit of a couple of songs on the tape. Now, forgive me, because of this potato quality camera, you probably won't be able to get the full effect of the sound. You'll just be able to hear kind of what it sounds like. Now, I will try and turn it up a bit so that way you can hear it, but first let's play it. And while the hard plastic lead is just going by, oh, here we go. I'm just gonna turn it up so that way you can hear if there's any hiss, or never mind. No, don't mind me. I'm just gonna fast forward the tape a little. Okay, now I know it's gonna be blaring at me, so I'm just gonna turn it down a bit for a second. That's the two-synth theme. Now I'm just gonna fast forward it even more. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure if you were able to hear that, and I apologize if you were not able to, but that was the Mother 2 soundtrack on cassette. Okay, I'll just play a bit of the other side of the tape. Let's go. That's just the Super Smash Bros. Melee remix of Pollyanna. But yeah, that's Mother 2, the soundtrack on cassette. Yeah. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. Bye, guys.